Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Corcoran Entertainment Show. I am your host, Franky Corcoran. Happy March, everybody. Very first episode of March. Hope you guys are having a good year so far. Wherever you are, if it's still snowing or whatever, we're going to get through this soon. So just to let you guys know. Yeah, not a lot going on this week. Just kind of I got a few ideas, things that are going on in there's always ideas floating around in my head about what to do creatively, professionally, all that stuff. So announcements to come on Facebook page, and Instagram and all that stuff in the next little while. So stay tuned for that. So not really much that I can say right now, aside from just very excited about our guest today. As always, I'm always excited to have our guests on. We get some incredible guests, and today is no different. Today I have Andy Rubal. He's a Cuban-American singer, songwriter, and now JUNO Award nominee for Latin Music Recording of the Year. And very excited to have him on here today. He actually brought on, this is actually the first time I did this for a podcast. He brought on his translator and manager, Michael Litresits. Michael Litresits is his translator, manager, and they were a great duo, really. They were just, so full of life, and they work very, very well together. Had a great conversation with them. So thank you, Andy and Michael, for coming on. Hope you guys enjoy the conversation. And be sure to stay tuned for the JUNO Awards coming at the end of March. And root for Latin Music Recording of the Year for Andy. So thank you again, Andy and Michael, for coming on. I really appreciate it. Later in the show, I want to give my thoughts on The Simpsons not planning a series finale, which is interesting. After 800 episodes, they're not planning to do a series finale. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then I also want to give my thoughts. I just checked out the new series Coldwater, starring Andrew Lincoln. It's been out for a while, but it just came on Amazon Prime just recently. Watched the whole thing, and I got to give my thoughts on it. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And anyways, guys, without further ado, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the podcast today. All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Corcoran Entertainment Show. I am your host, Franky Corcoran, and today I am joined by multi-talented JUNO-nominated singer, songwriter, pianist. He is nominated for the Latin Music Recording of the Year at the 2026 JUNO Awards. Very excited to have him on here today. Andy Rubal. Andy, how are you today?
Thanks. Fine. I am very fine. My English is not good, but I am the traductor here behind me.
Yes, of course. Feel free to introduce yourself. We have his manager on here as well today too.
Yes. My name is Michael Litresits from Moonsun Music. I'm Andy's manager, and happy to translate for my wonderful artist who's fluent in French and Spanish.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That's perfect. Like, it's always good to have, like, I can even just tell, even just before we started recording, is that this is one of the things too about having managers and having just partners in any type of business, having someone that you can trust, and even just getting the chance to talk to you guys right now, you can tell that there's such a good camaraderie between you two. Like, you guys are always able to finish each other's sentences if you're unable to find the right words for it. Like, so I got that vibe immediately off that. So what was really what would you say, Andy, is kind of like the key ingredient of a good partnership in any type of thing? Maybe not music, but maybe more so just in general.
Ok. Tu peux me traduire si...
C'est quoi, dans un partenariat, dans un travail d'équipe, comme disons moi puis toi, c'est quoi les plus importants ingrédients?
Oui, c'est it's very important, ça c'est très important d'avoir une connexion vraiment professionnelle. C'est très important d'avoir une compréhension au niveau des humains, vraiment. C'est la première chose.
It's very important to have a true, clear, professional understanding of one another, and most importantly, a human connection.
Yes, exactly. Like it's one thing too to have somebody that maybe they don't talk very much, but also that you're still able to trust them. It's also an even better thing when you have someone that you're good friends, you're still able to hang out and things like that. Like, that always is a very, very good rapport to have with agent, business partner, whatever the case may be. But then there's also, how do you kind of view the whole balancing friendship with business? Like, is that something that was ever an issue at all, or have you kind of adjusted very, very well to it?
Oui, ouais. On s'est connus vraiment dans l'affaire des professionnels. Notre relation, ça, vraiment est partie d'une relation professionnelle. Ça partit de là. Après, on a construit l'amitié. Notre fondation, c'est la musique, c'est vraiment l'amour à ça qu'on fait. Mais on a parti d'une relation vraiment professionnelle. Après, tout ça, ça a développé l'amitié, l'amour entre frères. C'est important de dire ça.
The whole thing started off as very much a professional relationship based on mutual admiration for each one of our capacities to move his artist career forward. And from there, the camaraderie and the friendship happened because we're both musicians, and that passion for producing great music and that we're on the same wavelength also developed quite a wonderful friendship, actually.
Et je crois que toi, tu touches à un point très, très, très important. Parce que, en tout cas, on parle un petit peu de la relation artiste-manager, artiste-compagnie, que c'est vraiment très, très important. Et ça vient d'être vraiment tout dans le développement de l'artiste et de son produit.
You're touching on a really important facet. The relationship between the manager, the producer, and the artist is huge because it's the foundation of getting to points like this where we're actually talking about the JUNO nomination. So thanks for touching on that, Franky.
Oh, yes, my pleasure. I mean, like, it's really, I mean, like, I come from the world of theater and stuff like that too. So it's one of those things that when you have people that you're working with that you can really trust, you're like, yes, it's one thing to have somebody that you get along with and you work well together in a work type setting, but then also getting to translate that over to where you guys are such good friends and you and the cast were able to hang out and things like that. And it's really good way to balance friendship and balance also the work also is very, very important as well too. Because we all work towards the same goal. We all have, like, in this case here, working towards getting a Juno nomination is a big thing. Like, that's always a big thing. And maybe not just necessarily the Junos, but I mean just in general, where it's you're incredibly hardworking and you just work hard to just create a good life for yourself in music and to be able to make other people happy, inspire other people. It's a really, really major it's something that is really necessary. It's really, really necessary to have a really good type of work ethic. How would you describe from where you started in your musical journey versus where you are now? How would you compare the two different Andys, I guess you would say?
Comme le début
Comment tu compares le Andy du début et son développement jusqu'à aujourd'hui?
Ouais. Moi, j'ai eu plusieurs étapes, vraiment. Je pense que depuis enfant, j'ai touché beaucoup à la popularité à Cuba. Ça, tu peux le traduire tout de suite.
I had very many facets in my career, and it started very young. And at a very young age, it started with extreme popularity.
Yes. À Cuba.
In Cuba.
In Cuba. Après, je me suis développé comme réalisateur musical et producteur musical de plusieurs artistes à Cuba qui étaient vraiment dans les top artistes à Cuba.
So then he developed as a producer, arranger for some very high-end, top-level musicians in Cuba.
Exact. Euh, mais quand tu fais ton projet à toi, ta musique, ça c'est différent. Parce que tu dois comme vraiment recommencer de zéro. Ça c'est vraiment euh, une question de toujours, comme on dit ici à Québec, lâche pas la patate, c'est comme il faut toujours être là dedans.
So regardless of what your experience is in various things working with other people, Andy's saying that when you start your own artistic career of your own under your own name, it's like starting from nothing, and you gotta hit that nail a million times and just keep plugging away and keep driving to be recognized.
Et une chose que j'ai remarqué pendant toutes ces années, c'est que des fois, comme règle générale, on dirait, je ne sais pas si ça arrive à des autres artistes, mais les artistes qui ont un grand nom avec lesquels tu as, pour lesquels tu as travaillé, pour lesquels tu as fait ce type de travail, normalement, quand tu fais ta carrière d'artiste, c'est difficile d'avoir son appui. C'est difficile vraiment avoir son appui à eux. Ils te regardent comme, OK, toujours les producteurs sont directeurs musicaux, mais pas nécessairement comme un autre artiste qui peut avoir son niveau aussi.
It's hard to get the attention, even though you work with, as an arranger and producer, you work with some high level artists that are super well known in the industry. Once you're wearing the I'm a solo artist hat, it's hard to get their attention to sort of acknowledge you as an equal, as part of the community.
Et je pense que ça fait grandir. Ça fait vraiment qu'on pousse le double, car des fois, avec même ces petits commentaires, ça fait vraiment te baisser ton envie d'y aller à où on veut vraiment.
It's a super humbling, growing experience, and very enriching at the same time, because your goal is to just continue to nurture your self-esteem and to move forward with the talent that God gave you.
Exact. Et écoute, mais maintenant, on commence à ramasser les fruits de notre travail en équipe. Et on commence vraiment, parce que c'est vraiment un travail en équipe, ça c'est numéro un. Et aussi avoir, moi je peux dire, à écouter les prochaines étapes qui s'en viennent. C'est ça.
It's fun because we're starting to truly see the fruits of the labor and to see what the teamwork is doing, because there is a team. There's us, but there's other people in the back, all kinds of people helping out to make this project what it is, and which got us where we are now. So it's quite inspiring to see that the team effort is actually yielding some pretty cool results.
And that's great though. Like really once you're able to take a step back and like holy crap, like we did it. You know what I mean? Like we actually did it. Like that's always a big accomplishment. Whether it's music or it's you're doing like you spend so much time filming a movie and it's months and months and months of hard work and dedication and getting up early, and then by the end you're like holy crap, we actually pulled it off. And so that's always really really the best feeling, especially as an artist. I mean, there's lots of people who don't, this actually applies to a lot of different things, whether it's I don't know, maybe a construction worker or a construction company that just finished building this gigantic apartment building. They can kind of take a step back and look, holy crap, we finally did it. But it's also it's just such a gratifying experience, particularly in the arts too, because this is something that it's you work so hard to get recognized, you work so hard to get songs and material that you're incredibly proud of. And so what was it like when you got the Juno nomination? How was it like, what was the feeling as soon as you learned about the nomination? Was it something that you're like, okay, is this real? You know, like, do I kind of have to pitch myself? Is it April 1st? Like, how did you kind of respond to it?
Exact. Non, non, c'était vraiment une grande émotion parce que en fait, c'est Michael qui m'a appelé. Il m'a dit, OK, tu dois recevoir cette nouvelle. On est nominé en Juno avec ton album Baila y Confía, meilleur enregistrement de l'année. C'était comme, wow. Moi, je croyais que c'était mais comment ça? Si, même si on a, ça c'était aux dernières minutes qu'on a juste envoyé l'album. Et on a su qu'il y avait beaucoup des albums envoyés et qu'on était parmi les 5 finalistes. Et ça, c'est vraiment quelque chose que ça m'a coûté digérer pour les prochains jours.
As Andy mentioned, I was the one who broke the news, and he was. It was kind of a sense of disbelief, in fact, because
Mais c'est toi qui m'appelais.
exactly. And what we had all heard was there was a heck of a lot of submissions for a brand new Latin music recording category. And it took a long time to digest the fact that he was nominated and amongst the fifth most appreciated recordings amongst a crew of a whole lot of amazing artists.
Yeah, that's it. Like when there's, because that's the thing with any type of when it comes to acting, I always say to people that there's a million of you out there trying to make it into this business, and in some cases, if you're auditioning for this one part, there's 100 people auditioning, only one person's going to get it. I mean, luckily in this case, there's 100 people that are out there, more that want this nomination. Only what I think like 5 are going to get the nomination. So it's still one of those things, it really motivates you and everything, to, try your best. How would you kind of describe dealing with rejection in this type of business? I love getting different perspectives on this because it does come with every business. It's something that you're always going to get rejection letters. I myself get lots of rejection letters. It's just part of the game. So how do you kind of go about dealing with rejection and going like, crap, I worked so hard for this and I feel like it's not getting recognized. But nowadays you're able to look back on it and go, hey, it did end up paying off eventually. So how do you kind of deal with rejection?
Ok, la question.
Oui, tu peux, mais
Comment tu fais pour gérer les refus dans ton travail? Tu sais, on vient de se faire nominer pour un Juno, mais avant d'être nominé, on s'est fait refuser dans plein d'autres projets.
ah, oui, 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 oui. Ça c'est une bonne question. Avant, j'étais un petit peu comme, OK, mais pourquoi? J'ai appris maintenant dans ces moments de ma vie, euh, c'est pas grave. Ça qui arrive, ça arrive et c'est tout. Comme ça peut arriver une victoire comme celui-là de la nomination à JUNO Awards, parce que pour moi, c'est déjà une victoire. Et je pense que pour nous tous, pour tous les Latinos, parce que c'est la catégorie latine qui a triomphé, vraiment. Mais sinon, gérer ça, je pense que ça prend la maturité, n'importe dans quel domaine de la vie. Juste la maturité de dire, OK, ça arrive ici parce que ça doit arriver et c'est comme ça. Et après, on continue de travailler et je pense que c'est là-dedans, c'est la meilleure chose.
The refusals are all based on a question of maturity. It's like taking those refusals, learning from them, moving forward, and developing so that eventually those refusals become something positive, like what we're living right now.
No, 100%. And like you said, it's really all about how you manage it. Are you willing to sit back and moan and dwell on the fact that I didn't get this one thing when you're like, oh crap, there was like a million other opportunities that I could have pursued afterwards, but I was too busy sulking over my loss in this one and not getting the part or not getting the attention that I kind of wanted or the success that I was working hard for. Uh, but you just got to keep on going, like keep on going for it and everything. How would you sort of define success? It's always an interesting question because so many people have many different definitions of it. But to you, when you look at the word success and in your journey and in the industry in general, how would you describe or define success?
C'est pourquoi, toi, la définition du succès?
Euh, Première chose, juste dans ces pays, c'est différent, les succès, c'est différent dans ces pays qui est un petit peu dans mon pays, non? Ici, vivre de la musique, c'est très difficile, non? Euh, Comment je peux dire? Si jamais il arrive à vivre comme maintenant de la musique, pour moi, c'est déjà une victoire. Dans les côtés des objectifs de la vie. Ça, tu peux définir ça?
So, first of all, the definition between here in Canada and back home Cuba are two very distinct realities, number one. But number two, just the fact of being able to earn a living and to actually live 100% as a musician, as an entertainer, as a performer is a huge step towards that success, which in fact is success in itself already.
Yes. Après ça, ça s'en vient toutes les choses qui accompagnent ça, que c'est comme plus festival, plus de concerts, que ton art, que ta musique rentre dans le cœur du monde. Et ça, pour moi, c'est vraiment la victoire. Et pouvoir faire une continuation, c'est régulier de ça, c'est vraiment, et de voir le monde qui ça change aussi des vies, qui change le cœur du monde. Pour moi, ça, c'est la grande victoire.
So there's obviously the more shows, more festivals, more tour dates. But I think the major point here is that the music created goes into the hearts of all the new fans, and that the ongoing process of creating new music reaches them and touches them is, I think, the biggest defining point. And Andy thinks the biggest defining point of his success as an artist.
Et le type de musique que je fais, c'est vraiment pour que le monde danse, pour que le monde s'amuse, pour que le monde puisse oublier ses problèmes de journée. Alors, c'est mon goal, c'est mon plus grand victoire, ça.
The whole point of his music is to make people dance, to make people sing, and to for them to forget their problems for just that little moment where they're enjoying the music. And that's, for him, the main goal.
And always putting the audience first too is a good thing as well. I mean, obviously the first step too is to build up a reputation and to build your career to the point that you have people, you have a loyal fan base. That's always the first step is just make sure that you do have fans that are listening to the music and everything, and work hard to get it started and get it kick started. And then next thing is to listen to the fans, listen to the fans. They are your biggest supporters. They are your biggest, they really elevate your career. They elevate you. And they also kind of make you a better person, the way I see it. It's when you see that there's people out there who love your music, they love what you do, they look to you as a role model. You're like, if they look to me as a role model, I got to be a positive role model, And it's always something. And, looking at your career and everything like that, you've certainly achieved that. You got people out there that, obviously, JUNO Award, it's a big thing. And then also just having, lots of loyal fan bases, performing so many shows around the world. Just fantastic to see, man. It's truly fantastic. And congratulations on all of your success and everything. If you kind of had to maybe give just a piece of advice to somebody out there, a lot of my listeners, whether they're aspiring artists, they want to make it into the industry, they want to work in it in some way, shape, or form. What's probably the biggest piece of advice that you could give them based on your experiences?
Quel conseil tu peux donner à d'autres artistes basé sur ton expérience?
Euh, des fois, c'est lent, des fois, c'est vraiment lent, mais le travail, ça fait les chemins. Le travail avec amour, le travail avec du talent, parce il faut mettre du talent dans le travail. Mais il faut attendre les fruits parce que si on est convaincu de ça qu'on a, si on est convaincu de que c'est notre chemin, c'est la musique notre chemin, parce que des fois, on est trompé, des fois, on n'a pas un bon produit, des fois, quand on a une équipe qui est convaincue, parce que c'est surtout l'équipe, parce que sinon, nous, on va dire, ah, c'est bon, c'est bon. Mais quand on a une équipe qui est convaincue de ton travail, de que ton travail est bon, il faut juste travailler, travailler jusqu'à ramasser les fruits. Il faut être vraiment patient.
The road's a long one, but when you have the benefit and the gift of having a team that believes and everyone's on the same page that they really believe in what's going on, you just got to keep working and keep doing what you do, keep producing stuff. Don't stop because eventually, if everyone's on the same page, the team, the artist, it's gonna pay off.
Il faut être patient.
You have to be patient.
This episode of the Corcoran Entertainment Show is brought to you by Holy Hydrogen. Okay, guys, let's be real. We all try our best to stay hydrated, right? But not all water is created equal. That's where Holy Hydrogen comes in. They've got this awesome device called the Lourdes HydroFix Premium Edition, and it takes clean water to the next level by infusing it with molecular energy. That means you're not just drinking water, you're giving your body extra support with every sip, better energy, less inflammation, and a real boost to your immune system. So try the Lourdes HydroFix Premium Edition today by going to shop.holyhydrogen.com/Corcoran and use the promo code Corcoran for $100 off your purchase. Again, that's shop.holyhydrogen.com/Corcoran and use the promo code Corcoran at checkout. Stay hydrated and stay healthy. Hard work pays off. It always does. It always does. And this is proof of it. It's proof of it that it does. And you have a great team, of course, Michael, and a lot of people in your corner, and just very happy to see all of the success coming your way. And it's truly fantastic, man. So keep doing what you're doing. Break lots of legs. In these upcoming shows. You're currently in your studio now, rehearsing and things like that. What can you tell us about any maybe upcoming shows that people can catch?
Qu'est-ce qui va se passer sur scène?
Dans le prochain show, non?
Oui.
On fera un show qui s'appelle Caliente. C'est un show qu'on a fait avant avec le nom de Les Nuits de l'Avent. C'est un petit peu différent, mais on a vraiment plusieurs artistes. Que c'est pas les shows de Rubal, sinon c'est moi qui gère la musique du show, les concepts artistiques de la musique. Mais ça sera vraiment un show avec beaucoup d'énergie dans les espaces Saint-Denis, ici à Montréal, dans les mois de mars. Ça sera vraiment quelque chose que les monde ici à Montréal vont vraiment aimer.
So right now, Andy is working as a musical director and arranger and lead performer in a show called Caliente, which is being produced at the Montreal Saint-Denis Theater, the Espace Saint-Denis. It's sort of like it came to be from a recent stage production called Les Nuits de la Havane, and it regroups Andy, his band, and some really great artists in the Latin community here in Montreal. And
ça c'est lui qui... C'est lui qui a dit que
I added a couple of things, but I mean it's something that that's going to be worthwhile for the people in Montreal and the people from around Canada if they can come out to check out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, guys, be sure to go keep up to date with all of this stuff. We'll put the link in our episode description to websites and things like that, so people can kind of keep up to date with all the amazing things you're doing. Andy, thank you so much, man, for taking the time to come on. Michael, thank you again as well too for coming on. As I said, we'll put the link in our description to websites and stuff. Where could people find you on, say, Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff?
Yes, vous pouvez me chercher como andyrubal.com. Andyrubal.com, ça, il y a tous mes réseaux sociaux.
On his website, andyrubal.com, links to all socials are there. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, everything's there.
Awesome. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to come on. Best of luck in all the future endeavors, and let's definitely stay in touch. I'd be happy to have you both back on at some point. Fellow Canadians right now, you guys are coming to us from Montreal, correct?
Indeed. Yes.
Yes, and I'm coming to you from New Brunswick, so, us Canadians got to stick together.
East Coast.
Yeah, thank you, Franky.
Thanks, Franky.
Yeah, of course, my pleasure. So, guys, we're going to take a short break. We will be right back, but until then, this is Andy and Michael signing off. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Corkin Entertainment Show. That was me and Andy Rubal and Michael Litresits. Thank you very much, guys, for coming on. And be sure to go check out some of Andy's music. We're going to put the link in the episode description to his website and all that stuff. Has all the links to his social media, so you guys can keep up to date with all of his stuff. And also be sure to stay tuned for the JUNO Awards at the end of the month. So thank you very much, Andy and Michael, for coming on. I really appreciate it, guys. So moving on with the two solo segments for this Tuesday, is I want to talk a little bit about The Simpsons. I talk a little bit about The Simpsons here and there. I'll be honest though, I haven't kept up to date with it as of lately. I get my thoughts on a lot of stuff that's going on with The Simpsons. Of course, we have the new Simpsons movie that's coming out, which I'm actually I am looking forward to. As a huge fan of the first one, I really, really enjoyed the first Simpsons movie, and I'm excited to see the sequel. Will it be as good as the first? I don't know. We also kind of have to get some more info on it first before I can give my thoughts on whether it will be better, but because we don't really know much about it now, other than that, just they are making another Simpsons movie. It's coming out in 2027. They had to switch release dates just to avoid competition with Minecraft 2, which, I mean, that's understandable given the success that the first one had. But I wanted to talk a little bit about this recent news that the Simpsons showrunner has declared that they're not going to do a series finale. Showrunner Matt Selman, so he talked about, coming off the heels of episode 800, which is insane. I mean, how many people would have thought that The Simpsons would get to 800 episodes? Here we are, and still going strong. They don't have, from everything I gather, there's no plans to stop it at all. They have no intentions of stopping it, which can be a good or bad thing, because, I mean, let's be honest, even though if the quality isn't what it used to be, people are clearly still watching. People are clearly still interested. So I think it's just one of those things that, as long as they want to do it, and as long as the ratings are still keeping them afloat, it'd be one thing if nobody was watching, but clearly if they're still going, there has to be some people watching. So essentially what it means is they're never going to do a series finale, but it's not quite what you mean. Eventually, I'm sure the show will end, but what Matt Selman is trying to say here is that he doesn't plan to promote it as this is the final episode, stay tuned. He's not going to do it like that. I'll read the article here from Deadline. So showrunner Matt Selman recently teased that although the show could end one day following this weekend's Miles 800th episode, this was from a few weeks ago, he has no plans of a big farewell to the titular family. We did an episode about a year and a half ago that was like a parody of the series finale, he told The Wrap. We jammed every possible series finale concept into one show, so that was sort of my way of saying we're never going to do a series finale. We did a series finale in the middle of the show that made fun of all the ideas of wrapping everything up or ending. The show isn't supposed to change. The characters reset every week. It's like Groundhog Day, but they don't know it, and they don't die that much. If the show ever did end, there's no finale. It would just be a regular episode that has the family in it. Probably a little Easter egg here and there, but no, I'm going to miss this place. So that's a really interesting way to look at it. I mean, you always just assume that every show is just going to have a big series finale where, I don't know, like let's say the Simpsons family, they move out of their house. It's a big emotional thing. They're selling the house and reflecting on the years and stuff like that. But they don't plan to do that. Basically, essentially how they plan to do it, which is a very, very interesting way to do it, is it's just going to be a regular episode, and then that's it. The episode airs, it ends. Similar, this reminds me a lot of The Walking Dead comic book series. Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't read it. But essentially how it was we had the issue where, spoiler, Rick died. The main character, of course, Rick Grimes died. And they released covers for like the next 5 issues and basically saying that the series is going to continue on without Rick, and here's a look at what to expect in the next 5, 6, 7 issues. And they were putting out all these covers. Turned out it was all a ruse, and that the comics ended the very, very next issue. Literally, the issue after Rick died was the final issue, and it was just a very sudden decision. From what I hear, Robert Kirkman had a plan for a while, but he just didn't want to tell anybody. Could he have handled it better? Yeah, I think he probably could have handled it a little bit better, but what can you do now? It's what's done is done. But he was kind of, I think Kirkman was kind of in the same situation as, Matt Selman is, and Matt Groening and all the producers and showrunners behind The Simpsons. Is just that it's like, we don't want to advertise that it's going to be the last episode. There's actually people who are like that in real life. There's people that will want to retire from whatever type of job it is, but they don't want to publicize it. They don't want it to be a situation where they go in thinking, well, it's my last day in the office. I'm going to miss this place. Some people just don't want to do that. And to me, that's completely understandable. There's people who retire. They don't want retirement parties. They don't want anything like that. They just want to show up, do their thing, and then go home and do whatever for the rest of their life. Some people just don't want a big, they're not into big gestures, which to me, I don't think there's really anything wrong with that. It's your life. You can kind of go about it how you want to. And I get the same type of vibe from the Simpsons. I really, really, really get the vibe that, I'm sure probably in their mind too, they don't even really know themselves when it's going to end. Because they're not slowing down at all. They got a new movie coming out. They got 800 episodes, which how many series and stuff like that can say that they made it to 800 episodes except The Simpsons? So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how exactly they go about it if the show does eventually end, which I predict it's going to end eventually. That's, as to when it's going to end, I don't know. I can make guesses, but it would probably be really, really wrong. Because every time I think, okay, they can probably go another 2 seasons, and then boom, they get renewed for 10 more seasons. So we can't really say. I predict they'll get to at least 1,000. Episode 1,000, they will at least get to that. Whether it goes on beyond that, I don't really know. We'll kind of just have to wait and see how it goes. But I would guarantee at least 1,000 episodes. They made it to 800, for God's sakes. If they made it to 800, I'm sure that they'll push through to another 1,000. But that's kind of my thoughts. It's a really, really interesting way to look at it, that The Simpsons essentially will never have a proper series finale that wraps it up, almost like a similar, like a Young Sheldon type ending, spoiler alert, where, the father dies and they sell the house and everything like that. Simpsons just isn't going to be like that. And that's what the showrunner said. Now, maybe he's lying. Maybe he will do it, but I kind of believe him when he says it this way. But be sure to let me know what you guys think. Will The Simpsons get like a series finale where they publicize it? Do you think it's going to get a series finale like the showrunner is saying, where they're just going to end it and don't give any warning, or they're not going to do nothing like that? It's just going to be a regular episode and then boom, we're done. Thanks for listening or watching. Be sure to let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. The Corcoran Entertainment Show is brought to you by Podmatch, the ultimate platform designed to connect podcast hosts with prospective guests effortlessly. Are you a podcaster looking to elevate your show to new heights? Or perhaps you're a guest hoping to share your story with a broader audience? Whatever your podcasting goals are, we have the perfect solution for you. Podmatch simplifies the entire process of discovering guests for your show or finding podcasts to feature your expertise. Now imagine a platform where you can easily match with like-minded creators tailored specifically to your niche. With Podmatch, you can effortlessly network with influencers and thought leaders, all while staying true to your podcast vision. There are a multitude of ways that Podmatch can help you grow your brand. You can be part of a thriving community of podcasters and potential guests. Engage, collaborate, and grow together. If you're ready to experience these fantastic benefits for yourself, we invite you to join Podmatch today. Head over to www.joinpodmatch.com/Corcoran Entertainment and sign up right now for only $6 a month. That's right, you heard me right, $6 a month. Join the Podmatch family today and watch your podcast soar to new altitudes. Thank you for tuning into the Corcoran Entertainment Show, and happy podcasting. And moving on to our last solo discussion topic today is going to be doing a review for a show that I didn't have any plans to do a review for it. But after watching it, I had to do it. I had to do something, and I'm going to do it kind of non-spoilery. This is a show. It is a mini-series on Paramount, or Amazon Prime. I watched it on. It aired in the UK. It's a UK series that came out in September, but it just came out on Amazon Prime just a few weeks ago. I started watching it. I binged the whole thing, all 6 episodes. Fantastic show, and it's called Coldwater. Coldwater, it's, first off, the thing that really kind of intrigued me was that it's starring Andrew Lincoln, of course, Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead, kind of like his first, like, big, or I don't think it's like his first big show since he left The Walking Dead, but I think it's one of them, because I know he did a couple, he did a couple things. He played Scrooge in a play for Christmas Carol. But this is kind of like his first like series that, as far as I can tell, it's a mini series. That's what they seem to be promoting it as, but they kind of leave it open to do more, which I hopefully they do. But I was really intrigued right off the bat because it's Andrew Lincoln, and I think he's one of the greatest. He's given some of the greatest acting in television, period. Rick Grimes is just so iconic, and just his performance throughout was just so remarkable. And so when I found it on Amazon Prime, I said, okay, I've seen it advertised and stuff like that. I'm going to check it out. I said I wasn't really expecting a whole lot out of it. So I watched the first, the first few episodes, and I was hooked. I was really, really hooked. And then I finished the whole thing. And this was a really good series. It was a really good series. I didn't really plan to do much in terms of reviews and stuff because it came out so earlier in the year, but it came out in the UK. And so now that it's on Amazon Prime, if anybody's looking for a good mini series, it's not a big commitment to watch the 6-episode series, as it is to watch 100 episodes of a long running series. 6 episodes, if you like, like horror thriller type stuff, you'll definitely like this. So, basically it follows Andrew Lincoln's character John. He moves to the to Coldwater, which is a Scottish village, and so he moves with his wife and his kids, and he left. He moved from London because of a incident at a playground where he ran away from an altercation. At a playground in London, a woman was getting beat and he just ran away. And that's kind of like his MO, is that he just tries to run from problems. And so they moved to Coldwater and to kind of start over fresh. And they immediately, almost immediately, befriend their neighbor Tommy, who, this guy is incredible. Ewan Bremner, who plays Tommy the neighbor, excellent actor. He was scary. He was everything you wanted in like a villain, and it was fantastic. He was excellent in this role. First time seeing him, and so basically John becomes close friends with Tommy. But Tommy's kind of crazy. As I said, like he's a very, he's the villain of the story. So John's wife, played by Eve Miles, she is just like, no, he's a bad guy. Like, I don't trust him, whatever. And John's just like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. And of course, Tommy's just a sinister, messed up type of psychotic dude that John just, he really looks up to him and respects him and everything. And he's not willing to listen to his wife, his wife's protests that he's just a psychotic piece of shit. So that's kind of what the show is about. So just to kind of give like a non-spoilery review, I'm going to give the pros, the cons, and then I'm going to sum it up with a score out of 10. The pros, Andrew Lincoln. Well, the performances in general, everybody was just fantastic. But Andrew Lincoln in particular, man, I knew he was going to be great because it's Andrew Lincoln. As I said, he's given some of the best performances on television with Rick Grimes, and so I've always just been a fan of him. Period for that. But man, he was so good in this show. Everybody was great. Ewan Bremner, who as I mentioned, plays Tommy, excellent villain. Eve Miles, who plays the wife, was excellent. Or no, not Eve. Oh, sorry. It's Indira Varma. Sorry. I mixed that up. I mixed those two people up. Eve Miles plays Tommy's wife. I mixed them up. But by the way, everybody was fantastic. It was perfectly cast and everything. And everyone just gave 110% to the material they had. The cinematography, it's shot very, very well. It's shot crazy well. And the tension, whenever like tense moments come up where like Tommy's like threatening someone or he's just talking to someone, you felt it. You really, really felt it. And it was just so like the tension that kind of also kind of ties into the writing. I'm going to put the writing in here. The writing was very, very well written too. It was very, very well written. And, I've seen some reviews of people saying that it's written very immature, whatever. And to a certain extent it is, which will kind of lead me to the cons, which is that this show had a lot of conveniences that just happened for plot's sake. Like, without giving too much away, maybe consider the slight spoiler warning, or if you don't plan to watch it, then it's okay. But there's a part where John goes for a jog in the woods at nighttime and leads to the big murder that happens that kind of, sets this whole chain of events into motion. To me, I'm just like, why are you running at night? It was almost like he had to because the plot asked for it. That's what it felt like to me. There were a lot of, little tiny things like that were just almost like too convenient that kind of almost took me out of it because it's like, why is this coincidentally happening? It's like we have to get from here to here to here to this point because that happens. Like, it just felt like it was just very clearly trying to, do things that were just very convenient for the plot just because the plot asked for it. That's what, that would say, I'd say for me is the biggest, really the only con I can really think about. I guess if they maybe, the only other one that I can really think of is that, and also this doesn't really have much to do with the creative vision, but I think it could have used a couple more episodes too. I think, a couple more episodes could have helped as well. But that's okay. They get 6 episodes. They got a lot done in what they could. So overall, that's my thoughts on Coldwater. So in terms of a score, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think the show was excellent. I thought the show was really good, and I really encourage everybody to check it out. So as I said, so Coldwater, it's on Amazon Prime. You can probably catch it on a couple other streaming platforms, but Amazon Prime is the main one that I saw it on. The performances, cinematography, the writing, the tension, but then the thing that really threw me off was that there was just a lot of conveniences that were just there for plot's sake, but just kind of took me out of it a little bit. But aside from that, this is a great series. they leave it open for maybe a season 2, a potential season 2. Whether we'll get one or not, that's another question. I kind of don't think we will, but I'd be open to it because it at least it ended in a good way, but also leaves it open that if they wanted to do more than they have, they're able to. So be sure to go check it out, guys. If you haven't, if you're looking for a show to watch, if you don't have any intentions of watching it and you just want to hear my thoughts, cool. But still check it out if you want to. That's going to do it for the show today, guys. I want to thank my guest, Andy Rubal, and also Michael Litresits for coming on. Thank you guys very much. Be sure to go check out his website in the episode description. Thank you all for listening to the Corkin Entertainment Show today. Always much appreciated. We'll see you guys in the next episode. But until then, this is Franky signing off. Have a great week, everybody.